Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday from a very frigid Middle Tennessee. From what I understand, I am not alone. It is cold in most of this country. Terrible temperatures. I was seeing wind chills of 50, 60, 70 below in some areas. So I guess I have nothing to complain about it. But we did get 4 inches of beautiful snow. I love it. I know it won't last very long, but with this cold weather, it's going to last longer than usual. So that's good. And then the cold temperatures came in. It is right now 14 degrees. Supposed to get up to a high of 20, which I know is better than a lot of you. So again, I'm really not complaining too much. But tonight we're supposed to get down to 1 degree. Hi, Sharon. How are you doing? Glad you're here. I am just thankful that we can stay in. We're retired. We don't need to go anywhere. We can enjoy the snow through the windows, which is really nice. Our house is warm, except it's a little chilly right here by this front window. So I have my sweater on and a thermal and a blanket over my lap, but we are warm and we have a nice fireplace. Last night we had it going while we were watching TV and it is just delightful. So I really feel badly, hair sticking up again, for whoever has to go out in this. That's not great, and I appreciate all the hard workers who are doing that. But it's great crafting weather, so glad you are here. Hope you are finding ways to stay warm wherever you are. I'm so glad you're joining me. I hope you had a chance to get your favorite beverage and you can sit with me for a few minutes. It is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. My name is Maureen Rolfus, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady, coming to you from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And yes, how exciting is that, huh? I've been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 26 years, nearly 27, and I love what I do. I'm here to share my joy of card making and paper crafting with you and hoping I can encourage you to make those cards and then send them out to someone else so you can brighten their day. For those of you who've been praying for us, I am doing much better. I've had to change some of my habits so that hopefully I don't have to go in and have all these awful tests. Hi, Cheryl. So you guys know I'm addicted to coffee, but they're telling me that caffeine really irritates the bladder and the urinary tract infections. So I have switched to 1 cup of coffee a day, which is a huge drop for me. And I'm drinking herbal tea in between. And I have told you before, I'm not really a tea lover, but honestly, I'm getting used to it already. I've done it for about 5 days now, 1 cup of coffee, and then mint teas and lemon and ginger teas, and I'm doing okay. So that seems to really be helping with all of my issues. So thank you for your prayers. My daughter who was sick is doing much better, but my grandson who's college age is really not doing well with this flu or COVID or whatever it is. He's had it many, many days. He's just not bouncing back. So I would covet your prayers for him. And now her teenage daughter also has it as of today. So sickness all around. I think it's kind of the way of the world in winter. But yes, prayers would be awesome. Let's see what else I want to tell you. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments made on this video and giving away the project that I make today. Excuse me. Be sure to comment as many times as you like. Every comment counts as an entry, and I love to hear anything you want to share with me. Hi, Lenny. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining us. I hope you're doing okay there. Let me see. I want to know what you think of my card, of the projects, if you get helpful hints. I want to know if you have suggestions for future projects. I just love to hear from you. Let me know about your life, what the weather is, how your family is, what you're doing today. Congratulations to my last winner, Linda Marshall, who won my Crafting with You card, pillar card from the last video. Oh, you've been sick for 2 weeks. That's about what my grandson is. Not quite 2 weeks yet. It is ugh. You're right. Well, I will be praying for you, and I hope you get better soon, Cheryl. So much junk is going around. It just really is. It's the nature of the beast, I guess. So congratulations, Linda. That card is on its way to you. Hi, Sharon. My sister's on. I always love when she pops on. Good morning. Thank you so much to everyone who watched and commented. And I don't know if I said it, but you have till tomorrow night, the 17th, midnight, to comment to be entered for this card. Also, if any of you can share this video either to your homepage, excuse me a second, I got something in my eye. Don't know what that was, but something just all of a sudden tickled. I think I'm okay. If you can share me to your homepage, to a crafty group, to a crafty friend, any exposure like that just helps me with my small business, and I appreciate it so much. So if you do that, let me know, and I will give you not only an entry for the comment, but a bonus entry for sharing. Let's see what else. So I think that's all I need to share with you here. I'm going to take you down to my table. Actually, I'm going to take a sip of my tea first because my throat is getting scratchy. Hang on a second. I'll show you my adorable little sunflower mug that I love so much. So now I'm going to switch you around. You will see my snow, and I will take you down to my table and lock it in place. And let's make sure that I am up and running where I want to be and that my table is set up the way I want it. So give me just 1 second. Okay, looks good. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, the Crazy Stamping Lady. You can find my blog at crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/crazystampinglady. My YouTube is under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. This is my January hostess code. It is good the entire month of January, so if you are purchasing from me in that month, please be sure to enter that hostess code. That gives me the most benefits for your order and allows me to give back the most to you, my followers and customers. So please use that. If your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, then don't use it, because at that point you will earn some special free product awards, as it'll be considered a hostess for a hostess party. So then don't use it. But otherwise, I appreciate if you can use that code. I have one special card to share with you today. It came a couple days ago from my friend Karen in Prescott, and I love it. I think it is just adorable. It is cut out, or it looks like she actually cut it with the scissors. I don't think it was die cut. I could be wrong. A little hat type image, and it opens up with a sentiment on the inside. And then she just decorated it. She has this cute little designer series paper that looks like a sweater. And then she used the sweater embossing folder. I don't think it's current anymore. I'm pretty sure it's retired. But to make the top part of this with a designer series paper. Adorable, Karen. It just made me smile. Even my husband said, oh man, that is really cute. So nice job, and thank you so much for thinking of me. Let's get this out of the way. My upcoming classes. So my online class for Saturday, January 27th is now closed. And those kits went out to everyone in the mail today. So you should receive them soon. As long as our mailman goes through. I'm assuming he is. Our road's pretty clear, so we'll see. Otherwise, tomorrow. But I do have a local class here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So anyone in Middle Tennessee that wants to join me, drop me an email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com so I can hold your spot for you. That class is on Friday, January 26th from 1 to 3 at Shelley's Coffee, and it's going to be a lot of fun as we make some fun projects using the Be Mine suite of products. My bundle bonus for this month is Crafting with You. It is an adorable bundle, and if you did not see the pillar card I made last time with it, please go back and watch my last video. I loved how it turned out. It was so much fun using all these little bitty pieces. It just made just a delightful card. But if you order this bundle in the month of January and Yeah, that's just it. I don't know where I was going with that. Actually, the snow just distracted me. I looked up and it was falling from a tree. Sorry about that. I shouldn't look up. Anyway, if you purchase this in the month of January from me here in the United States, I will give 100% of my profits from this set to the Doors of Hope Ministry in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can find out more about Doors of Hope Ministries at opendoorsofhope.org. And I will send you a special full bundle tutorial of additional card ideas that were created by myself and a collaborative group that I work with, giving you additional ideas to use that set for. So it is a win-win-win for everyone. My spring catalog paper share is now closed, but I wanted to put this on here to let everyone know that I am still waiting for one more pack of paper that somehow didn't get in my order and they had to ship separately. And it is supposed to now arrive today, but it was originally Saturday, and with this weather, we'll see. As soon as I get it, I'll finish those up and get them out to everybody who ordered. Thank you so much for your support on that. It was great filling all my paper shares, and I really appreciate it. And then my free monthly card class, my virtual card class. This will be for orders in the month of January 2024. You can see I messed that up. Using the current hostess code. It's the same code that I showed you earlier on that little piece, but you must use that code if your order is under $150, pre-shipping and handling and tax, to be able to earn my free kit. So a $50 order will get you 3 card kits. A $75 order will get you 3 card kits plus a bonus project. A $100 order will get you the 3 card kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of a current embellishment. I only give out 1 kit per person. So if you order more than once in a month, you'll get the kit that relates to your highest purchase for that month, whatever that order was. And then this class will be held online right here in this Facebook group on January class will be held online on Monday, February 12th, 2024 at 11 a.m. Central Time right here, and anyone is welcome to watch, but if you order, you will have the kits to craft along. Celebration is going strong, guys. Tons of fun stuff to earn. Today I'm going to share a couple coordinating products. So today we're going to be using the Trusty Toolbox 12 by 12 Designer Series paper that you can earn free with a $50 US purchase. And there's some great little samples in here that they made with this Designer Series paper. I think they're just adorable. And this coordinates with the Trusty Tools bundle out of the mini catalog. Let me see if I can get to that easily here. And that bundle is on page 56 of the mini catalog. It is fantastic. It is masculine. I know it says Happy Father's Day, and in my case, I no longer have a father to give that to, but it also has a You're the Most Awesome Dad, thank you, and all these awesome little tools, as well as the dies that cut out even more. They cut out this like pegboard background. They cut out the pieces that you can make this little toolbox and all of these fun tools. And a lot of these cut out the pieces out of the Designer Series paper. And that's what we're going to be doing a little bit with today. And then our annual catalog continues. So to earn Celebration products, you just need to place a $50 minimum order or a $100 minimum order if you want a level 2 product. And that can come out of the annual catalog. It can come out of the mini catalog. It can come out of our online exclusives that you can only see if you go to our website, or you can do a prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscription, and that will also count for you to earn awards during Celebration. And then just a shout out for our recruiting option during Celebration. This is one of the options that you have if you sign up during Celebration to be a demonstrator. There is no long-term obligation. I will talk you through any questions you might have. Just email me if interested. But you have an opportunity to get this adorable glass mat that I am loving everything about it, free of charge with that kit if you just do the regular $99 kit. You'll get all your product as normal, and then this is a free bonus. So, Okay, let's get crafting, guys. Enough talking, right? Okay, let's see what I've got going on here today. So let me show you the card we're making. Here is my envelope. And then this is the card. Now this card is a Father's Day card, but the one I'm making today is going to be changing up the sentiments a little. But I love how it turned out. To me, it looks very masculine, even though it has a bow on, and I'm going to show you how we got that bow. It has a lot of distressing here on this white layer to make it look a little more rustic, and then some of the fun elements out of that designer series paper. So let's make this card. Let me get all my pieces here and bring them over, as well as the products that we're using. And the first thing I want to show you is the designer series paper. So we are using the Trusty Toolbox designer series paper, and I shared all of this recently on my Global Inspiration Stamp Team presentation. So if you're a part of that group and didn't see our presentations last Friday and Saturday, be sure to go check them out, because they're all about products from the mini catalog and some coordinating ones from Celebration and how you can earn Celebration products. And they were great. But we're using this. But I shared with them how I share my paper, and I've done that here before, but I'm going to do it one more time. This is the Trusty Toolbox paper. So I now write everything on the very front of my plastic when I get it with a Sharpie, just to make it easy for me to see. It's the Trusty Toolbox from the Spring Celebration. It was free, but it's a $12.50 value because it's designer series paper. And then inside, I keep one of our cute little cello envelope bags, just like this. And all of my tiny little pieces that I cut out but haven't used yet, I save right inside the plastic. So everything is handy and together, and I don't lose those little pieces. That was a trip from Sandra from our Global Inspiration Stamp Team, and I loved it. And then, because on the back, it shows you what the coordinating colors are, but my eyes are old and those are tiny. I've started to write all the coordinating colors on the back of my paper, again, with Sharpie. It takes a couple minutes to do when your order arrives, but let me tell you, it has made it so nice to be able to see everything so clearly on my packets. And then I do have an up arrow, and that is just so I don't accidentally put this in my slot upside down and then pick it up and everything falls out. It's hard to tell when my paper is just in here like this. So I put an arrow once I've opened it so I know where the top is, and that way when it's in my container, I make sure I open it the right way. So those are tips on our designer series paper. I'm going to show you the 6 designs in this packet, and they are just fun. I love the colors. All those little tools. Here is just ruler after ruler after ruler marks. This is, I'm going to turn it this way because it looks like the drawers on one of those masculine red toolboxes. My husband has one out in the garage. This image is just hammers and crosses with little nails in between them. And then this one is screwdrivers. And then another one with all the fun tools on it. So those are the 6 patterns. And we're going to turn them over and look at the backs. So the backs are much more neutral. Some of them do have tool design elements. So this one has like the tops of screws with the different Phillips or regular and little bolts. This one is screws and bolts. This one is like the pegboard, but it's also just a pattern. So I think you could use that anywhere. And then this beautiful Lost Lagoon, gray, and grid paper elements. Great for your masculine cards, free of charge with a $50 purchase. What a great deal. Okay, so for this today, we are using the Trusty Tool Dies because I used a couple of these to cut out the elements from my designer series paper. We're using the stamp set, because we're using the sentiments out of here. And then we're going to be using the classic matte dots as our embellishment on here, as well as a piece of the black and white gingham ribbon. This is in the annual catalog. I love it. You guys have seen me and how I love it. And we're going to be coloring it today to make it a little less bright on this card, a little more masculine looking. So what I did is I started out with a base of, what gray did I use? This is, wow, I can't believe I can't remember what gray I used on here. This is the deeper, what is it called? Not Smoky Slate. This is Pebbled Path. Sorry, it's not even one of our grays. It's one of our king colors. This is Pebbled Path cardstock. It is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece, and I'm creasing it at 4 1/4, and I always crease mine each way with the bone folder, and that way when you open it, you get that really nice straight line down the middle, which I love the look of that. We have a layer, or maybe we don't have a layer. Nope, we do. It's just hidden in my pile. We have a layer of basic white cardstock, and this is 5 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And I wanted to make it look a little more rustic, so we're just going to do some distressing on it. And to do that, I'm going to grab my snips. This seems to work best for me to get the distressing going. And I'm just going to rub it kind of firmly along every edge of this card. So you just want to do it so it's starting to break down those fibers and move them into the card a little bit. The first time around, it's not going to be enough, so we're going to need to do more. If it tears the paper at some point, don't worry about it, because we want that kind of rustic look. So just keep going, and we're going to work with that if it happens. In fact, I kind of like it. Sometimes I make it happen. There's also distressing tools out on the market, but I find that the snips works as good as any of them, so it's what I use. And then my fingernails are also my other go-to, so you'll see me kind of finish it off with that. So I'm just continuing around the whole thing. This is a great way to make something not look so pristine if you want more of an antique-y look, or like I said, for a more masculine look. I love distressing my cardstock. So now we've gone all the way around one time like that. We've kind of weakened those little edges, and now I'm going to do it one more time. And this time I'm just going to just keep going, roughing them up even a little bit more, getting some of those fibers loose and curling the paper in a little bit. And again, like I said, if it does tear, I'm never worried about that, because that just adds to that look that we want. Hope you guys are having a good day and staying warm. I am really not used to these frigid temperatures. I don't really love cold so much. But being in the house, it's fine, as long as I don't have to go out. But I do have to venture out to the chiropractor in a couple days, and it's going to be cold for that visit, I am sure. Okay, so there, I went around the whole thing twice, and hopefully you can see on camera just what that did to the edges of this cardstock. Now I'm going to take this right now and put it down onto the front of my card base, just using seal. And I'm going to warn you that most likely I am going to run out of this seal. I thought I would run out of it before now. It seems to be going forever for some reason, which is awesome. But I do have a backup if we have to change it out, and I will be ready for that. So we're going to come in here and center this as well as we can. This card's going horizontally, and I'm just pushing down in those corners to get that. And then I have a layer of the Designer Series paper. So this layer here is 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to put that right inside of there, just like that, so that we have that little edge around it. So this is rulers. It's just a ruler image. I tried to decide if those little lines should go up or down, and last time I chose up, but after looking at my ruler, I think they should go down. So for this one, we're going to switch it and have them go down. Although I don't think it really matters, and I doubt anyone's going to question it or say, hey, you did those rulers wrong. So don't stress about stuff that doesn't matter too much, right? Come in here and place this just like that. Okay. So now that distressed edge is framing this piece here, and I'm going to distress it a little more. So I'm going to use my fingernail. Honestly, if I didn't have this, let me see if no, I don't have it. You could also use that little spatula type end on your take your pick tool. Mine's not handy here, or I would show you that. And you could scrape along the edge a little more too. But I find once I've glued it down, if I take my fingernail, I can really get those ridges on the side to stand up and look distressed. Even better, because now I can curl it up almost to that designer series paper just by running my fingernail along there. So that's my final step on that. Look at that. Isn't that cool looking? I just love that distressed look, especially for a masculine card. Now it did take off some of my nail polish, but that's the price you pay for creativity, I guess, huh? Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is I cut out 2 rectangles using the deckled rectangle dies. So let me just pull these out and show you. If you get these, they have tons of different sizes, which I love when we have layering sizes like that. I used the very largest one to cut out a piece for the inside of my card. And then the 4th from the smallest one to cut out a layer for the front of my card. So I love these. You've seen me use them before. We now have the deckled circles on our carryover list. They are just great dies to have, guys. Really a wonderful investment because they're so wonderful for layering on your cards. So that's my 2 layers. And we're going to stamp an image right onto here. And for this card, instead of making it Father's Day, it says, "You're the most awesome dad." I realize you still might not have a dad, but this could be a card that you could give to your husband if he does something wonderful for your kids. It's just a nice saying. You could leave the dad off, but I wanted something larger for this element. So I added the 2 sentiments together. And as we've been discussing both here and on the Global Inspiration Stamp Team, most of us have noticed, and I'm inking this up with the Pebbled Path ink, that this glass mat allows us to stamp with photopolymer and not have to have a mat underneath it, which makes no sense to me because there's obviously no cushion here, but it works wonderfully. So let me hope I don't have to eat my words now that I've said that. We're going to center it. I'm going to give it a firm press and pull it up and look at the awesome image. I am not sure why this works, but this glass mat is awesome, just like that is, right? Okay, so let me get rid of that. That's our sentiment for today. And I'm going to show you another quick trick about this glass mat. Now again, this glass mat is an incentive for signing up as a demonstrator. I would love to have you part of my Crazy Stampin' Lady team. There is no long-term obligation, and I can give you all the details. Just email me at crazystampinlady@gmail.com if you want to get your glass mat with signing up for being a demonstrator. But I want to show you a cute tip that I learned, or just figured out actually. And I've seen now since then other demonstrators do it because we all try to learn these cute tips when we can, or easy tips. So this mat, these are 2 separate stamps, but when you stamp them like this, you would never know it. It looks like it's one stamp together. I'm going to take the stamp side up, the part that's going to hit my paper, and I'm going to lay it down here on my glass mat right against that line. So it's very easy to see that line. Now I could do this on my grid paper, and I did many times, but it would move. But on this glass mat, once it's down, it's not going to move unless I pull it up. And then I'm going to take this other part of the stamp and push it right up so that the rubber is hitting. And you can tell by following the grid line that this one is also perfectly straight. Then just take your stamping block, center it over those give it a firm press because it needs to adhere to the block instead of the mat, and pull it up, and your stamp is ready to go. And that has just been wonderful for making sure that everything is lined up and straight, and look how great that came out. Okay, so that is what we did for that layer. The next thing I'm going to do is grab a piece, and this piece of Pebbled Path is 2.5 by 3 3/4, which ends up just larger than that deckled edge rectangle like that. So we want to have those together. And I'm going to grab my ribbon. Okay, so actually I wanted 2 pieces of ribbon. Let me grab another one. This one's for the bow, but I want one also to wrap around here. Not much of it shows, but I think it just makes it look more finished when it's wrapped around here too, and I'll show you why. So that when you see this end, if you're in person, you can see there's a little bit of that gingham ribbon peeking out here, which makes much more sense for this bow over here. So that is just what I like to do. And we're going to color this ribbon. So I didn't want it so white against the cardstock. I wanted it a little more muted. Let me grab my, so here's my paper piercing mat, and here is just a piece of paper protecting it. And we're going to use the Light Pebbled Path blend. So this has to be done with blends. If you do it with markers, it's going to wear off on your fingers and not stay long term. But all of our blends are permanent. So once it dries, it's on there. And we're just going to take this and run it right along that ribbon. I'm using the brush end and just going all the way out on each end. And you want to do it on a piece of scrap paper because you can see it soaks through the ribbon. I'm going to set that one aside. Look at the difference in color in them. I'm sure you can see that. It just darkens it, but you can still see the gingham in there. And I like that. I like that look. And I'm going to do the same thing on this long piece for the bow. Now this is permanent again, like I said, very similar to a Sharpie. In fact, if you didn't have our blends and you had Sharpies, you could do this same thing, but your colors wouldn't coordinate as perfectly, obviously. Okay, so let this a little later here. I'm going to make sure I got that all covered. All right, so that's it. That's all there is to it. It dries very quickly. So what we're going to do right now is take my seal one more time, and on the back of this rectangle, I'm just going to place some seal kind of from the middle down so I can place this ribbon where I want it. Now this is already dry. It's not coming off on my fingers, which is awesome. If it's a really bright color like blueberry bushel or real red, you may need to let it sit a little longer, or use your heat tool to dry it, just to not get it all over your fingers. But these lighter colors, they dry fast, and you can work with them almost immediately. So I'm cutting around and layering this onto my cardstock. I'm going to move it up just a little bit, right toward the middle of this piece. Doesn't have to be perfect. My last one was a little lower than the middle, so put it where you like it. Just like that. And by having that seal on the back, it holds it. But then I want to anchor that, and not everybody does this, but I just don't want that ribbon pulling out. So I'm going to use a little bit of tear and tape on each side to help hold that ribbon down. And this piece of cardstock, it's going to go right down onto the next layer. So I'm going to remove the backing so that it gives it extra stick. Now, if you were popping this layer up on dimensionals, then I would just leave that backing on there because you don't need that adhesive exposed, and add your dimensionals with the backing right on there. Let's add a little more of our adhesive to this, like that. And then this, I am going to place right on my card base, making sure I'm opening it the right way. And I'm just kind of centering it. So I'm tilting it at an angle, and I'm centering it so that this peak and this peak are about equal distance from the sides. And then this peak and this peak are about equal distance from the top and bottom. No perfection needed, just eyeball it, but you want it to be close to that. So this is now at an angle on there. Then we're going to take You're the Most Awesome Dad and some dimensionals. I love the way Stampin' Up! Coordinated so many of their products this year between the mini catalog and celebration. I just think that's such a win-win for us because it just makes it all come together so nicely. And I'm going to put 5 dimensionals on the back of here because I want this to pop up nicely. And then just pull off those backings. If you don't have fingernails, go ahead and use your trusty take your pick tool or the end of your snips to get these backings off of your dimensionals. And then this is going to come in and be centered right over that gray layer. As well as I can. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that little bit of gingham hanging out here. And like I said, you could probably get by without it if you don't want to use all your ribbon. I understand that. But I like the way it makes continuity when I add the bow over here. So we're going to tie our bow using this other piece. I think this is about 8 inches. About 8 inches, which should be long enough for me to tie a nice bow and add it. I don't need long tails on this bow, so. In fact, I want to trim it down quite a bit so they're not very long. I'm just going to tie that bow and then manipulate your bow. Just keep pulling it until you get it the size that you want. I don't want anything huge and overwhelming. This is a masculine card, so I want it to be a smaller type bow. And then I'm going to take my ribbon cutting scissors in and just snip the ends off. And I'm not going to leave them very long because this is going to hang over toward the sentiment. And I don't want it obstructing our sentiment on this card. So this is going to come right over here, and I'm just going to add it there with a glue dot. So my basic adhesives that I use are seal, glue dots, dimensionals, and the tear and tape. That's my go-tos. I always have them on my desk. They serve different purposes. Oh, and multi-purpose liquid glue. You could probably get by with not having them all. But if you want the ease and the best use of them, those are the adhesives to have on hand. We're going to come and place this right over here. So it looks like it was just tied at the end of this strip coming along the side here. All right, we're almost there, guys. So then, before I came on, I die cut 2 of the tools. These are right out of the Designer Series paper. A little monkey wrench, or what is it a monkey wrench? It might have another name with a screw on it. I can't remember for sure. And then a tape rule or tape measure. And we're going to add these onto our card. So I'm going to put the wrench down here in this corner. And to do that, I'm just going to take a little of my Tombow liquid glue and lay it in a strip right here, not a ton. But that way I know the glue will only be where the wrench is and not hanging out anywhere else that I don't want it. And I'm going to keep it below that ribbon so you can see the ribbon there. And it'll come out and tuck over the end here. It's just kind of floating on there. But once that Tombow glue dries, it's going to be right where it needs to be. And I'm going to do the same thing up here in this corner. I'm just going to make like a little section of Tombow glue. I don't want to make it too large because I don't want to limit where I can place these images. I want to be able to move them and put them where I want them. So don't put too much Tombow glue where you're limited and have to cover it completely. And we're just going to come up here and place that. And this is also just loose on top, but that's perfectly fine. And then every card needs a little bling, even our masculine cards. So we're going to come in and use some of our classic matte dots. These are the black dots, and I'm going to grab my snips, and we're just going to take one of the smaller ones, place it over here, and another one just up from it like that. And then we're going to form our triangles by taking the largest one and placing it over here. And that is the outside of our card. Look how cool that is. And it was so much fun. using that designer series paper on there. So the next thing I want to do is take my large deckled edge piece of cardstock, and this is going to fit right here inside of the card. So on the card I made ahead of time, I went one layer down and I left a lot of border, and I didn't really want that much border. Also, I used the "You're the Most Awesome" sentiment on the inside, which we really can't do because here it is on the outside. So I'm not going to add a sentiment to the inside of this, but we are going to decorate it a little bit. So I'm just going to come in here with my seal. Wow, this seal is still going. This has gone through 2 videos and a bunch of classes in between after I thought I was running out. So it's like the endless roll of seal. Okay, now make sure your card's opening the right way. And I'm going to put this here. Like, I like this deckled edge because to me it mimics, let me just show you, I think it mimics the look of this distressed edge without having have to distress every piece. But it matches perfectly. It looks a little torn and rough, and I think that matches that so well. So there is that layer on the inside of our card. And what we're going to do is just take these little screws and nuts images, and I'm just going to add them on the inside. So this could now become, it says out here, it says "You're the Most Awesome Dad." It could become a thank you for doing something. It could be a birthday card. It could be just "I'm thinking of you." It can be whatever you want it to be because we're not going to add an inside sentiment. So that's it, guys. This is the card I am giving away today. It'll come with the envelope all stamped and ready to go. I think it's adorable. I hope you liked it and picked up a couple cute little tips on it. If you wanted to earn this designer series paper free of charge, you could just purchase the Trusty Toolbox bundle. Because that bundle, let me get this for you again, that bundle is $54.75. So if you got this bundle, you would automatically be able to get the designer series paper seen here from Celebration. And what a great bunch of masculine cards you could make up with that. So I hope you liked it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this cold morning. Don't forget to leave me your comments for a chance to win this card. You have till tomorrow night, midnight, and I'll draw the next morning. As always, I would love to be your creative coach and demonstrator. So if you have any questions at all or would like a catalog or are interested in joining and possibly getting this glass mat, please reach out to me either in the comments here or at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I do plan to be back here on Friday, same place, same time. So mark your calendars. Hope to see you then. And until then, stay warm and stay happy and stay crafty, guys. Bye-bye.